the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, STU Choir, for your stirring rendition of our national anthem, and thank you to the Honor Guard for presenting of the flags. Honor Guard, please retire the colors. Now, please welcome our Vice President for Mission and Ministry, Father Raphael Capot, as he leads our invocation.
Good morning. Let us recognize that we're in the presence of our loving God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Blessed are you, God, good and gracious Father. You have given us life, sustained us, and guided these graduates to this day of achievement. Inspired by the witness of St. Thomas More, you have planted in their hearts a passion for justice, tempered by mercy, and formed them as ethical leaders in the service of the law. As we celebrate this milestone, we pray, in a world of division, make them instruments of reconciliation. In moments of conflict, builders of peace. In the face of injustice, courageous defenders of what is right. Where there is unfairness, faithful witnesses to the dignity of every human person. Where voices are silenced, bold proclaimers of truth. Where people are marginalized, leaders who draw others to the center. Bless the friendships they have formed. May they endure across time and distance, strengthen their wisdom and deepen their vision, that they may grow and go forward with clarity, integrity, and hope. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to present the Dean of the St. Thomas University College of Law, Professor of Law, and distinguished St. Thomas University College of Law alumna, the Honorable Tarlika Nunez Navarro.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Welcome to the College of Law Commencement for the class of 2026. Today is a day of tremendous pride and celebration for all of us here at the College of Law. We gather to recognize not only the academic achievements of the class of 2026, but also the perseverance, the commitment, and the resilience that brought each graduate to this moment. To all of our graduates, their families, their friends, our alumni, faculty, and our distinguished guests, thank you for your encouragement and support. You have provided these students with the tools that they need to be here today. Let's give all of you a round of applause. And we are also welcoming all those who are joining us via the video live stream. Those that could not be with us today, who are many miles away, but here with our graduates today, welcome on the video live stream. At this time, I would also like to thank our platform party, members of our Board of Trustees, Board of Advisors, the President's Cabinet, and members of our St. Thomas University faculty. Please stand so that we can recognize you. Thank you. And now to you, class of 2026. You did it. Congratulations. I promised that I wouldn't cry up here today because you are my first class, so I'm going to keep it together. But I do want to thank you. You will always hold a special place in my heart. You were my first class at my first orientation when I became dean in 2023. And in many ways, we have walked this journey together. And what a journey it has been. Among you are White House interns, students who have served in the governor's office, nationally ranked advocates, number 4 in the nation, trial team, you are future leaders. But most importantly, collectively, you have served our neediest portion of our community with over 21,000 hours of pro bono community work. And that matters because the law is not simply a profession, it is a calling. And here at St. Thomas University College of Law, a Catholic institution, we believe that your degree is not about what you can earn, but about what you can do for others, how you can serve your community, restore dignity, and make a difference in the world. And I want you to know that each one of you have already started making a difference in the world. You have made a difference in my life. $230 letters you wrote to me when I became your dean. 230 letters, and I read one every single day. I read about your trials, the obstacles that you have overcome, and all about your dreams. And every single day, it got me through that first year. So I deeply want to thank you for reminding me of why I am here and my purpose. I want to also remind you that you wrote letters to yourselves also. Go back, read those letters every single day until you get comfortable in whatever you choose to do. Remind yourself of why you are here, whether it's your grandparents, whether it's justice, whether it's freedom. Do not let anyone burn out the light that you came into law school with, because each one of you have that within you. And also remember, you will face challenges, many, okay? It's not always gonna be easy, but those challenges are divine detours from God. They are not happening to you, they are happening for you. The world does not simply need more lawyers. It needs lawyers with compassion, courage, integrity, and faith. Lawyers who will leave this world better than they found it. And that is you. And although today, graduates, you become lawyers, tomorrow you will walk with me as fellow alumni and as fellow colleagues and one of the most noble professions of our time. Yes, one of the most noble professions of our time. Make sure you do not take that responsibility lightly. You know that I will always be cheering for you, I will always be praying for you, and I will be walking alongside of you. I love you all. God bless you, and go Bobcats.
Thank you, Dean Navarro. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce President David A. Armstrong, JD, the 10th president of St. Thomas University. President Armstrong is entering his 8th year as president of STU, and under his leadership, the university continues reaching for excellence, as evidenced by record enrollments, new facilities, expanded academic offerings, engaged alumni, and an extraordinary energy. His innovative spirit has yielded exciting new ventures and has expanded the university's regional and national recognition. President Armstrong has helped to advance STU's reputation as the leading Catholic university in the South and inspired our students to be giant. During his tenure at STU, he has overseen the largest graduating class in STU history, led 7 years of record enrollment, and more than quadrupled the size of campus housing. President Armstrong is truly devoted to our Catholic identity and committed to graduating ethical leaders for our global community. So please join me in welcoming President David A. Armstrong, JD.
Thank you, Stephen. Welcome to the St. Thomas University Law Commencement Ceremony for 2026. Before I start, I have to say that our choir is 3 for 3. We had undergraduate ceremony on Wednesday, graduate ceremony yesterday, and law today. And they made me tear up for all three, so they're 3 for 3. What a beautiful rendition. Give them a round of applause. I want to thank some special guests that we have here, our trustees, our board chair and class of '86, George Rico, our vice chair, Victor Mendelson, longtime trustee, Paul Garcia, Bernie Fernandez, Lenore Radicio. We also have some board of advisors here, Herman Rusamano, Carlos Senstistaban, an alum, Judge Elaine Carbuccia, an alum, and Oliver Ruiz, an alum. So please give them all a round of applause. Now I'm going to say this, there is no law school in the country that has as powerful lineup as we have today for speakers for you today. We have 3 of them. John Leone, an alum, founding attorney of the Leon Legal Group. The youngest federal judge in history, appointed federal judge in history, the Honorable Roy K. Altman, U.S. District Court of the Southern District of Florida. And what I like about him, he was a quarterback and a pitcher at Columbia. Yeah. You can tell when he stands up, you'll see that. You'll see the difference between a Division I and a Division III guy as soon as he stands up. And the Honorable James Upmeyer, Attorney General, State of Florida. Now, I know they're going to have all kinds of wonderful words to say, but I want to remind you, gentlemen, on these screens, we will have some time limits. And as a former football coach, I was really tough on time, and I don't want to have to tackle anybody today. No, I'm only kidding. We are going to hear some they are unbelievable, and this is going to be the best law school ceremony in the country because of these 3 gentlemen. This is a special day for all of you, but also for your fellow classmates and their families, so please respect the decorum of the event and for each other and for their guests. With all that is going on in the world, let's take a moment to honor our retired and active military, first responders, law enforcement. We just had Nurses Week, so our nurses, anyone that I called out, could you please stand and get a round of applause of appreciation from all your citizens. Thank you for your service. Now, it's because it's a law school ceremony, we have a lot of these people in the office, in the public here today. I would like all our judges, elected officials, and dignitaries to please stand. Now, how about some great intel on this graduating class? We have 233 students participating in the law commencement today. JD, the Juris Doctor, 219, the JSD, 2, and our LLM, 12. The youngest graduate, Carolyn O'Melson, is 21. And her birthday is August 15, 2004. That just made me feel real old. And I'm not going to say our oldest, But our most mature and wise graduate is Rance Grace, who's 67, earning an LLM in Intercultural Human Rights. Please stand. Where are you at? I know she's here somewhere. There she is. And her birthday's coming up on May 27th. "81% of our students graduating are students of color. We have 8 international students from 8 different countries. Our average age today is 28. And the students graduating with honors. And I'm jealous of you because I graduated law school not with honors, so I'm very jealous of you. 87 students graduating with honors. 4 summa cum laude, 19 magna cum laude, and 64 cum laude. These are exciting times for St. Thomas University. Record growth, record enrollment, new residence hall with a bowling alley. Our law school, some of you may not even know this, our law school is now the largest in the state for full-time JD. And we've earned our highest national ranking in the mock trial and moot court, 4th in the country. And we're seeing our highest bar exam rates in history. And you will continue that. Now, how about a couple stories about a couple students, and if I call your name, you better stand up. Laura Alleman and Katerina Carangelo. Born in Cuba and Venezuela, respectively, Laura and Katerina both immigrated to the United States as young teenagers without speaking English. Today, both graduate among the top students in the College of Law. Katerina graduating magna cum laude and top 5% of the class. And Laura graduating summa cum laude, ranked 2nd in the class. They were determined to succeed. Katerina quickly tested out of the ESLO program after arriving in the United States, while Laura, I love this, learned English watching Netflix. Throughout law school, Laura also helped support her family while serving as a legal guardian for her younger brother with autism and cerebral palsy. Both students earned prestigious judicial opportunities during law school, including externships with federal judges and the Florida Supreme Court. Following graduation, both will continue distinguished legal careers through judicial clerkships and service with the Florida Supreme Court and Florida's 1st District Court of Appeal. Congratulations. Diana Carolina Good, Masters of Law in Intercultural Human Rights. Diana's pursuit of justice was born from profound personal tragedy during the armed conflict in Colombia. After losing family members to violence, Diana dedicated her life to advocating for vulnerable communities. She immigrated to the United States, learned English, worked full-time while commuting from Tampa each week to pursue her LLM here at STU. While working full-time for the Florida Department of Children and Families, she commuted from Tampa weekly to pursue her degree, and she continues that work of protecting Florida's elderly women, children, and other vulnerable populations through the Florida Department of Children and Families. Congratulations. Geraldo Pereira. There he is. Geraldo was born in Venezuela, raised in the United States after immigrating at the age of 10. He's dedicated himself to public service and leadership throughout law school during his 2L year. Despite suffering a serious back injury that temporarily left him unable to walk, Geraldo completed a demanding externship with the United States House Judiciary Committee before undergoing surgery. He served as the Dean's Research Assistant and completed another prestigious externship at the White House Counsel's Office. He completed more than 160 hours of pro bono service and regularly volunteers with his family preparing meals for individuals experiencing homelessness. Geraldo has been selected as a Blackstone Fellow, a highly competitive national program for Christian law students, and will join Greenberg-Trauerig's government law and policy team following graduation. Congratulations. Before I get to our last one, I do have to recognize Jameson Roach. Where are you at, Jameson? Stand up. Where are you at? There you are. He's the son of our Dean of Biscayne College, Colin Roach. So give him a round of applause. Justin Fisher, 3L. Justin is a Florida native of Broward County, and one of his defining scholarly moments began at one of our Career Services Lunch and Learn panels in collaboration with the Entertainment and Sports Law Student Association, where he learned about the ABA Entertainment Law Initiative, ELI, competition. He completed 150 hours of pro bono service through the VITA and community-based pro bono initiatives, providing direct assistance to community members. In 25, Justin submitted Uneven Stages, How Inconsistent State Taxation Undermines the Entertainment Industry, a paper analyzing the disproportionate impact of the jock tax on entertainers nationwide. His submission earned first place in the nation at the ELI competition, and his paper will be published on the forthcoming ABA Forum on Sports and Entertainment Law. He was honored at a luncheon at the 68th Annual Grammy Awards alongside attorney Paul Robinson of Warner Music Group, and was invited to attend Music Cares Gala honoring Mariah Carey, where he networked with leading figures in the music and legal industries, including attorneys from Sony Music, Taylor Swift's legal team, and Greenberg Traurig. Justin is the first student from St. Thomas College of Law to answer the ELI call for papers and attend the Grammy Awards. Following this achievement, Justin was also invited to speak at the Vanderbilt Music Law Summit on March 31st, further cementing his national recognition in entertainment and tax law. He will pursue a tax law LLM at the University of Florida, and he is a heck of a golfer. Congratulations, Justin. Now, I usually have several pieces of advice for our graduates. Today, I only have one. If you've been driving on the Palmetto and 95, you've seen our billboard, Be Giant. But that is not just a slogan, and it's not just a campaign, an advertising campaign. It is a charge. And I'm going to define it for you, what we mean when we say Be Giant. I'm going to give you 4 examples. Number 1, this year we are celebrating the 250th anniversary of this country. Yes. The greatest democratic republic in the history of Western civilization. And yet, people still don't understand. U.S. Representative from New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she said that the Revolutionary War was about the oppressed versus the billionaires. She doesn't understand our history. The 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence were the leaders and the pillars of the community. They were the richest people in the country. They sacrificed all to sign the Declaration of Independence, which was signing their death warrant if we lost. They gave up their families, their farms, their money. Robert Morris was the richest person in the country. He was in debtor prison after the Revolutionary War. He gave everything to George Washington and the troops so they can succeed. They took on the greatest empire in the world. The sun didn't set on the British Empire. It was one of the greatest upsets in history. And why did they do it? It's very simple. They believed in the inalienable rights given to us by God, not by the king or a president or a party. The next example for you, the Augustinian priests that started Biscayne College in 1961, which now is St. Thomas University. But our story actually goes back a little further. Father Sorelli, an Italian immigrant who was a street sweeper in Philadelphia, became an Augustinian priest. And when he was over at Villanova, the mothership of the Augustinian universities, he became really good at starting schools, grade schools, high schools. The Augustinians have high schools all around the world, grade schools and high schools all around the world. And some Catholics in Cuba asked him to come down and start a grade school in Cuba. And when he got there, they told him, "We lied. We want you to start a Catholic college." So Universidad Santo Tomás de Villanueva began. And it was an excellent college from 1946 to 61. Served women when no one else did. But in 1961, Fidel Castro himself invaded the campus, cut the head off a Santo Tomás statue, and put the priests up against the wall. Luckily, 2 to 3 weeks later, they escaped and immediately came to the Archbishop of Miami at the time and asked for land to build Biscayne College for Men on the land that we sit today. Now, I will tell you something. Communism and socialism, they're perfect. They're batting 1,000. They have failed wherever they've been. Wherever they've been. And these brave priests came to Miami. Why? Because they believed in the Catholic intellectual tradition, which means that we will seek out all answers, no matter where it takes us, knowing that in the end that God is at the center. And we live that Catholic intellectual tradition here at St. Thomas University. Because at STU, unlike all the craziness going on in higher education in this country, where schools are telling you what to think, we don't tell you what to think, we teach you how to think. And I'm going to make a little prediction here. Cuba will be free. Cuba will be free, and St. Thomas University will be there. This week, I've met with President Jeanette Nunez at FIU and their group Casa Caba, where they have come forward and said, when that happens, FIU will lead the way in educating and any educational needs for Cuba, and we are now a part of that initiative at St. Thomas University. The third giant I want to talk to you about. Sadly, we had our board chair of many years, John J. Dooner, class of 70, an alum like you, passed away in December. He was a tough Irishman from the Bronx. And understand, back in the day, all the best students from those grade schools and high schools of the Augustinians around the country, they sent all the best students to Villanova. All the wayward boys they sent down to Miami to Biscayne College. Yet, because of the professors from Cuba and the professors that came down to retire in Florida, they got an unbelievable education, and those wayward boys became wildly successful. And John was one of those. He went back to New York, started out in the main room of a marketing firm, rose to CEO, and then built the largest marketing advertising agency in the world in the McCann Group. When I first got here as president, he asked my wife and I to go to a Hall of Fame ceremony in New York. And I'm thinking, oh, we're going to go see him get elected to a high school or something, a Hall of Fame. As I walked in, black tie with 3,000 people downtown in Manhattan, he got inducted to the International Advertising Hall of Fame with Pepsi, Nike. It was insane. But those are the kind of people that have graduated from this university. And with all the higher education disruptions and all the closings and all the things that are happening, John led and he gave. He was the largest individual donor in history. And he took a chance on a blue-collar kid from Cleveland to come and serve his university. We are all here today, and this school is open today because of John Dooner. Now, my last group, I just added for today, so you get it a little bit longer. There was a time when I first came here that we did not have the bar results that we wanted. Conservative voices of students and faculty were stifled at the law school, and people of faith, especially Catholic, were frowned upon in the hiring practice. Those days are over. And I want to recognize 4 faculty who stood strong for the values of this university. Siegfried Riesner, Rosa Patty, John and June Mary McDessie, please stand. They, along with our other excellent faculty, followed policies and procedures to make sure that we were following our mission, following the ABA, and doing what we had to do to become a great law school and to become the largest in the state of Florida. I also want to thank B.J. Priester and Associate Dean Jeff Beach for their work on the ABA issues that we had to deal with. They were giants for all of you, because they were giants for the diversity of thought. We have people of all faiths here, of all political leanings, of all colors. That's the way it should be. So how were all of these people examples of being giant? You are giant if you stand for the power of education. You are giant if you stand for your principles. You are giant if you stand for your faith. What did they teach us? They taught us how to fight for knowledge. They taught us how to fight for freedom from tyranny. They taught us how to fight for our beliefs. But most important, these giants taught us how to be giant with love. Loving your alma mater. Loving and cherishing your country. And most important, loving God. Law graduates, our charge to you is to go out into this world and live our mission to become an ethical leader for the global community. That is your charge. Go out into this world and be giant. God bless. Go Bobcats.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of being giant, one of our most distinguished alumni, you will hear from John Leone. John is a Miami native and St. Thomas University College of Law graduate. He is the founder of the law offices of John Leone, focusing on civil litigation and crisis management. With 24 years in private practice and over 100,000 legal matters handled, he is admitted to 9 state and federal courts, including the United States Supreme Court. Recognized nationally as an authority in crisis management, John advises corporations and professionals on complex legal and public issues. He has been widely featured in Forbes, Bloomberg, USA Today, CBS, NBC, ABC, Rolling Stone, GQ, MarketWatch, and many others. He has been described as a trailblazing pioneer for his philosophy of preemptive crisis management. His TED Talk here at St. Thomas, Life Lessons from a Crisis Manager, was among one of the most viewed of 2025, surpassing 1 million views. Known as Mr. 305, John has been ranked in the top 1% of attorneys nationally and has received honors, including Lawyer of the Year, the next great Hispanic attorney, and one of the best attorneys in America. Among other recognitions from organizations and publications, including Who's Who, Super Lawyer, and the South Florida Legal Guide. He is also an author with a recently released novel. He has an upcoming lecture tour and additional books on the way. A serial entrepreneur, John has ventures across the publishing, real estate, hospitality, media, fashion, farming, and healthcare industries. Along with his beautiful wife, Angelina, he co-chairs the Leon Foundation, which supports education, poverty relief, clean water access, animal welfare, social justice, and the arts. The foundation has built schools in Africa and Central America, provided clean water, funded surgeries, scholarship, and hunger relief programs. Over 3 decades, he has served on multiple nonprofit boards, including St. Thomas University College of Law's Advisory Board. He has also been featured in Sports Illustrated as an endurance athlete representing the United States. He has competed in events such as the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, the Ment 400, the Baja 1000, the Ironman Triathlons, and a solo swim from Alcatraz. He is preparing for a summit of one of the coldest mountains on earth. Please welcome Attorney John Leone.
Well, you did it. Congratulations. This is a full circle moment for me. 25 years ago, I graduated from St. Thomas Law, and today my daughter Isabella, who I'm sure is a little embarrassed right now, is here graduating alongside all of you. So congratulations, class. Please give yourselves a round of applause. President Armstrong, Dean Navarro, members of the Board of Trustees and advisors, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2026, good morning and welcome. I'm honored to be here today as we celebrate not only what you've accomplished, but what you've chosen to become. Lawyers have forged nations, restrained tyranny, and sustained the delicate promise of justice through man's most turbulent moments. You're graduating at an extraordinary time, a period marked by great challenge and uncertainty. We live in an age of astonishing innovation, yet profound instability. Through science and technology, we have extended human life, explored the cosmos, erased distance, and connected the world in ways once thought unimaginable. And yet, at the same time, truth in institutions has eroded, truth itself is questioned, and the rule of law, once considered stable, is openly called into doubt. These are tumultuous times. I also graduated law school from a very difficult period. Just weeks after my own graduation, the tragic events of 9/11 transpired. In an instant, the world changed, assumptions collapsed, certainties vanished. Events like this teach us that the most precarious moments in history occur when otherwise capable people retreat into silence or indifference, while others still choose leadership over complacency. That is why today is not merely a graduation, but rather a defining moment in your lives. The day you become leaders of our society, because that is now your destiny. Graduates, you did not choose an easy profession, you chose the law. A discipline that stands at the intersection of power and principle. The law does not merely describe the world as it is, it defines what it may become. At its best, the law is poetic and noble and protects the most vulnerable amongst us. At its worst, it can cause grievous harm and perpetuate injustice. The law can act as a shield for liberty or act as a weapon of oppression. It can preserve freedom or legitimize cruelty. What determines the difference is not the law, but rather the lawyer. The The lawyer has always been a fault line between order and disorder, between liberty and tyranny, justice and ruthlessness. When that line holds, societies can long endure and thrive. When it collapses, societies unravel. Societies, however, do not collapse from acts of injustice and misrule alone. They collapse from avoidant leadership. When those entrusted with power and responsibility fail to act, as Martin Luther King warned us, in the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but rather the silence of our friends. So from this moment on, you're no longer observers of this moment, you're now participants. As of today, silence is no longer a luxury available to you. From the founding fathers who authored our Constitution and gave rise to the great American experiment we call democracy, to the civil rights lawyers of the 1960s, every great moment in history has been shaped by attorneys like you who accepted that very responsibility. Though they were not certain of victory, they were certain of duty, and today that duty is passed to you. Graduates, a law degree is not merely a credential, it is a privilege and a covenant, a solemn obligation to serve something greater than yourselves, because you are now endowed with and possess a rare and formidable power, the power to challenge authority, to protect rights, to give voice to the voiceless, and to hold powerful institutions accountable. However, with that power comes great responsibility, because that is leadership. Friends, the practice of law will test you, it will exhaust you, it will challenge your patience, and at times your beliefs. There will be moments when doing the right thing costs you professionally, financially, and personally. I implore you, do it anyway. Because for leaders like you now, courage has never been comfortable, and justice has never been convenient. And graduates, know this: at its highest calling as a leader, the lawyer is also a peacekeeper, not merely a negotiator of disputes, but a guardian of order. Not merely an advocate for a client, but a defender of the delicate balance between right and wrong, good and bad. Indeed, the law is one of society's greatest instruments for peace. As is written in the Gospel of Matthew, "Blessed are the peacekeepers, for they shall be called the children of God." However, peacekeeping is not passive, nor is it silent, and it is never surrender. In the hands of a principled lawyer, peacekeeping means standing between harm and those most vulnerable, between power and the powerless, between what is easy and what is right. It means enduring pressure so others don't have to, because for you, pressure is a privilege. So what is a leader? History teaches us that leadership demands three qualities: character, courage, and discipline. First, character is who you are when no one is watching. It has been said that the measure of a person's character is what they would do if they knew they would never be found out. Character is moral conviction in times of adversity, when shortcuts tempt us and silence feels safe, because adversity does not build character, it reveals it. Without character, power is without restraint and dangerous, because leadership demands character to act honorably. Next, courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. Every generation that advanced liberty did so because individuals chose principle over personal safety. Courage is forged in moments of weakness when our resolve is tested, but conviction must prevail. Courage then is a bridge between belief and action, demanding resolve when shelter is safer and silence is easier. Finally, discipline is the union of ideals and action. Without discipline, passion is mere noise, and courage is chaos. Discipline is the anchor that sustains effort when weariness makes cowards of men. It compels us to move forward and continue the good fight when the world tells us not to. Without discipline, leadership is but an empty promise. Friends, you have been trained to argue, analyze, and persuade, but beginning today, and as our esteemed Professor McDessie told me 25 years ago, your second education begins now, when law leaves the lecture hall and enters the real world with all its imperfections, inequities, and realities. So the question before you is not whether you will practice law, but how. Will you simply be wordsmiths of the law or something more, stewards of society? Will you chase outcomes or uphold ideals? Will you treat justice as a commodity designed to merely enrich your bottom lines, or will it become your calling? So you don't have to be perfect, but you must be principled. You don't have to be fearless, but you must act despite fear. You don't have to save the world, but you must refuse to let your choices diminish it. When these commitments are upheld, the law still stands as the most powerful force for meaningful and enduring change the world knows today. Because someone spoke when others didn't, because someone stood when others sat, because someone would not allow fear to quiet them. Today, that someone is you. Friends, you depart this institution at a time when the need for genuine leadership is real. You've been prepared for that responsibility by your devoted mentors, including President Armstrong, Dean Navarro, and your distinguished faculty. The challenges are real and the stakes are high, which is precisely why we need you. So today, the gauntlet is thrown down before you. Choose a cause greater than comfort. Choose integrity over expediency. Choose leadership over indifference. Use your authority. Use your training. Use your voice. When others surrender, you must fight, because if not you, then who? Because in the end, history won't ask how clever a lawyer you were. It'll ask what kind of leader you were. The call has been issued. Now stand up and answer it and make us proud. Thank you, graduates. Congratulations. I didn't want you to tackle me, so I ran through it.
Today, Mr. Leone will be awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. He will be hooded by Dean Navarro and President Armstrong.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Federal Judge Roy K. Altman of the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida. Judge Altman will speak to us about graduation and your path forward from a federal judicial perspective. Judge Altman was confirmed to a seat on the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida in 2019. At 36, he became the youngest federal district court judge in the country and the youngest federal judge ever appointed in the Southern District of Florida. Judge Altman received a BA from Columbia University, where he played quarterback on the football team and pitched for the baseball team, earning all Ivy honors. Judge Altman received his JD from Yale Law School, where he was projects editor of the Yale Law Journal. After law school, Judge Altman clerked on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals for the Honorable Stanley Marcus. Judge Altman then became a federal prosecutor at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami, where he twice received the Director of the Executive Office of United States Attorney's Award for superior performance by a federal prosecutor. In 2013, Judge Altman was named Federal Prosecutor of the Year by the Miami-Dade Chiefs of Police and Law Enforcement Officers Charitable Foundation. In 2014, Judge Altman became a partner at the Miami law firm of Podhurst Orsic, where he represented the victims of airplane crashes and bank fraud conspiracies. Please welcome my dear friend, Federal Judge Roy Altman.
Oh, I got 10 minutes. Good morning. Good morning. This is a great crowd. You know, when you get nominated to be a federal judge, they go through like 7 background checks, and they interview like 250 people in your life. It's pretty scary stuff, you know? And they go to your college roommates and your law school buddies, and they interview your neighbors and all the people you tried cases with and against. And so I told my neighbors in Coconut Grove, FBI is going to come chat with you guys, you know, just say some nice things. And my neighbor at the time, she was really good at making key lime pie. You guys know what that is, right? And yeah, there we go. There we go. I said that in Texas last week. They had no idea what I was talking about. And so she's in the house. She's baking some pie. She sees the guys in the suits. She lets them in. They start chatting, eat some pie, and then finally she says, "What can we tell you about Roy?" And the guy was like, "Who?" And she was like, "Well, you know, Roy Altman, he was just nominated by the President of the United States to be a federal judge." And the guys look at each other and they lean in and they go, "Ma'am, we're here to talk to you about Jesus Christ." But the point is that if just one person in those 250 interviews had said, "You know what the thing about Roy is? He lies. You know what the thing about Roy is? He cheats. He hides evidence. He doesn't play fair," I wouldn't be here today. Because in the end, it's not about how smart you are or where you went to school. It's about how you respect others and what you've done with the privileges that have been bestowed on each of you. And it's easy to say you're going to behave when you're swearing the oath of office or in an interview or at your graduation. But it's a lot more difficult when you haven't slept in weeks. The attorney on the other side is in, what's the word I can use at a Catholic school? A jerk. The judge has you on an unreasonable trial calendar. Not me, you understand. Other judges, bad judges. And it's in those times and those moments where you got to dig real deep, where you got to have a rod inside your soul that connects you to what Lincoln called the mystic chords of memory. All those people who came before you, who sacrificed so much and worked so hard to give you the chance to be here today. I'm the grandson of Holocaust survivors. You got to stop clapping because it takes away from my time and he's going to tackle me, you know. He's a pretty big guy. But I was born in Venezuela. How many Venezuelans we got? And after my mother was held at gunpoint in Venezuela the second time, first time it's just like, let's go get some arepas, you know. Second time she was like, we're moving to Miami. And we came here with nothing and knew no one. But my parents always taught me that in this country you could be and do anything so long as you worked hard and treated people with respect. You know, when I was in college, I was playing football, as you heard. And my grandfather, who had fled Europe during the Holocaust and came here to build a new life for himself and his family, he was dying of cancer. And my father called and said, if you want to see him again, this is your last chance. So we flew down to Caracas. And it happened to coincide with a momentous event in Venezuelan history. The dictator, Hugo Chavez, now he's the good guy on TikTok. I don't know how that happened. Hugo Chavez came to power in 1998. And the Constitution said he could run for only one 5-year term. So 2003, like any self-respecting dictator, he wasn't going to take that lying down. So he petitioned the Supreme Court to run again. And to their credit, the judges had that rod in their souls. And they said, you can't run again. The Constitution is unambiguous. So what is a self-respecting autocrat to do? He packed the Supreme Court with a bunch of his buddies and petitioned for reconsideration. And what do you know? But this time the court said, not only did we get it wrong, not only can you run again, you can run as many times as you like until the day that you die. And that's what he did, by the way. He was president until 2013 when he died. And it just so happened that after that decision came down, 1 million Venezuelans took to the streets to protest. Now, those of you who aren't Venezuelan, you should know that when a Venezuelan says 1 million, we mean like 100,000, but it was a lot of people. And that happened to coincide with my last trip to Caracas to see my grandfather. He was dying of cancer, this giant of a man in a wheelchair, 85 pounds. And my father was dealing with some of his affairs, and my grandfather gathered all the strength he had to say, take me out to the balcony. And we went out to the balcony, and all the people were protesting on the streets below. And he said, let's play chess. He had taught me to play chess as a little boy. We're Jews after all, we do nerdy things like that. And he said to me, your father tells me you want to go to law school. I said, I did. And he said, what kind of lawyer are you going to become? And I said, I don't really know, abuelo. And then he gathered all the strength that he had, and he lifted his bony finger out at the crowd, and he said, always remember, this is what happens to a country when good people don't serve. And so when I was 34 and the president intended to nominate me to be a federal judge, which is a lifetime appointment, you can't get rid of me whether you like me or not, People said, you're crazy. You got your whole life ahead of you to make money for your family. But for me, it was a no-brainer. The opportunity to serve this great country, and what you should know is this country is very much worth serving. When I was a little boy, all our family vacations were the same. The Altmans were not big on creativity, okay? Summers were in Israel every summer. And winter, yes, thank you. You see, at my alma maters, Columbia and Yale, I might have been shot for that, Winters were driving around the American South. We would go to all the Civil War battlefields. I've been to all the battlefields you know of, Gettysburg and Antietam and Chancellorsville, and 100 others you never knew existed. And it probably was a little strange, right, to see these 4 Venezuelan Jews traipsing about the South in a big Toyota Previa. You guys remember what that looked like? It was like a buffalo of a car. And one day we were at Chattanooga in Tennessee. Anybody ever been there? A couple people love America here, a couple people. It's an incredibly important battle in the Civil War. The Union had lost battle after battle. And the order came down that the Union Army, which was arrayed at the bottom of a hill called Missionary Ridge, was not to charge up at the 30,000 or so Confederates at the top. They didn't want to lose again. But just to show you how one man can change the course of human history. There was a 17-year-old boy. We talked about a 21-year-old in your graduating class. There was a 17-year-old boy who had lied about his age because he loved the Union so, to get into the Army. His name was Arthur MacArthur, a ridiculous name, I grant you. His parents weren't thinking that day. But he would become the father of Douglas MacArthur, the famous general from World War II and Korea. And he was standing at the bottom of Missionary Ridge when the standard bearer, the man holding the flag, was shot dead in front of him. And he could not bear the thought of our American flag touching the ground, so he picked it up. And those of you who have teenage boys, you'll understand what happened next. He charged up Missionary Ridge by himself against 30,000 Confederates. And the rest of the Union Army said, well, I guess the orders have changed. And they charged up the hill after him and won the day. And Arthur MacArthur became, on the top of Missionary Ridge, the youngest American ever to win the Medal of Honor. And there's a memorial on the top of that, on that very spot, on the top of Missionary Ridge. And my father and I were standing there when I was 8. And we were looking out at the battlefield, and it started to snow. And I grew up in 3 places, I told you as a kid: Venezuela, Israel, Miami. Not a lot of snow in my life. I'd never seen it before. And I turned to him and I said, Papi, this is so fun, que divertido, so beautiful. And he said, fun? You think this is fun? You don't understand anything about why your mother and I bring you to these places then. We bring you to these places so that you can understand the character of the country we've brought you to. This is a country, he told me, where 600,000 men had to die so that a part of the country who were enslaved could be free. That is the level of devotion and dedication that a free and fair democracy demands. So let me close with this before he executes me. You're all off into the real world now, off to build your own lives, separate and apart from your parents and your teachers and your friends. Initially, you'll find that there's something disconcerting, something scary about being all on your own. But over time, you'll come to see, as all of us did, I think, that there's something liberating about deciding what kind of lives you will need. Something akin to what we mean by freedom, about deciding what kind of man or woman you will become. And you'll come to understand that the careers you choose for yourselves, your life's work, will be a kind of emblem, that rod in your soul of who you really are and what you truly stand for. And so today I challenge you, each of you, to live lives of meaning. Live lives of service to your community so that decades after you are gone, young men and women will speak of you and the lessons that you've imparted the way I have done to you of my own parents. Congratulations, good luck, and always remember to love this great country you've been brought to.
Today, Judge Altman will be awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. He will be hooded by Dean Navarro and President Armstrong.
Because of Dean Tarlika, Judge Altman spoke to our orientation in our first years this year, and then he spoke at the end for the graduates. We got him at the beginning and the end. Great job. Thank you.
And he's coming back to speak to our orientation, our new class this August. So we look forward to having him with his new book. So we're excited to give his book away to our incoming class. And now we have the distinct pleasure to introduce the Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer, who will share Yes, give him a round of applause. He will share his words of wisdom on the state leadership perspective. Attorney General James Uthmeier grew up in Destin, Florida. He graduated from the University of Florida, where he ran varsity track and cross country for the national champions, the Florida Gators. He is also a graduate of Georgetown Law. He was appointed as the Attorney General by Governor Ron DeSantis in February 2025. Before his appointment, Mr. Uthmeier served as the Chief of Staff for Governor DeSantis, where he led the executive staff and oversaw 20 state agencies and 100,000 employees. Attorney General Uthmeier also served as the governor's general counsel and managed the litigation and legal work of the governor and state executive agencies. Previously, he served as a senior advisor and counsel to U.S. Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross. He began his career as a litigation associate at Jones Day's Washington, D.C. office, and he is an adjunct professor at the University of Florida College of Law. He and his beautiful wife, Jean, and their 3 children are active parishioners at the Co-Cathedral of St. Thomas More in Tallahassee. And he also appointed me back in 2021. So I will forever be grateful to our Attorney General, James Uthmeier.
President Armstrong, Dean Navarro, esteemed faculty, proud parents and family members, and class of 2026, congratulations to you all. Congratulations. I hand to you a warm congratulations, but also let me be the first to welcome you into our profession as lawyers. You've certainly deserved it. You've put in the sweat, the tears, the hard work. You've studied for countless hours, from contracts to torts, to property and constitutional law. You've written briefs, argued moots. You've survived the Socratic method. Today you are lawyers in all senses but the formal one, but it is a privilege to welcome you to our ranks. So give yourselves another round of applause. The mission of this College of Law is to train and graduate lawyers with the competency to use legal principles to tackle the great challenges of our society, to solve problems in a world that is ever changing and complex. And yes, our world will always be changing, and the complexities will continue to grow. But I'm here today to tell you that there are simple, universal truths that will endure the test of time. And as the President said here this morning, we need not look far to find them. The brave 56 men, the founders of our country, people who were willing to bleed for the cause, they laid them out pretty nicely. I know you heard a little bit, but I think it's worth reading again these truths from our foundational document. Our declaration states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Chief among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Our founders made the case that there are precepts that govern us far above any man-made law, that there is a natural law, there is God's law. These truths need not be written down to be real. We're blessed here in our country that they are, and that they are the bedrock of our system of justice, of our government, of our society. They were also written down over 7 centuries ago by a doctor of the church, Thomas Aquinas, whose intellectual legacy and tradition greatly influences this fine institution. St. Thomas observed, "The natural law is nothing other than the light of understanding placed in us by God. Through it we know what we must do and what we must avoid." Today's world wants us to believe that truth is subjective, that we can do whatever we want and be whoever we want to be as long as it makes us happy, forgetting the expense of others. If you do not know it by now, that is not true. That is a lie. So my call to you today is to take the same oath I did. When I took this job, I put my hand up, I put my other hand on a Bible, and I promised the people of Florida that I would uphold and defend our Constitution and our laws, and I would fight every day to do that which is right and just and true. I call on you to do the same thing. We need great leaders. We need public servants that are just that are servants willing to sacrifice, willing to bleed for the cause, to fight for the least of us. People that are willing to fight for a universal truth, because we have it on our side. We have been blessed by our Creator, designed in His image. And because of that, all men and women are equal under the law. We need good leaders in all branches of government, good servants willing to go forward not for self-gain, enrichment, for ego, pride, or nefarious motives. We need people that recognize for our country to endure another 250 great years, it will require solid leadership by people that want to passionately demonstrate truth. Here in Florida, we do that. We fight to defend life. We protect your right of conscience, your most deeply held beliefs. And we reject the notion that the government should give anybody a benefit based on the color of their skin. Now, I'll tell you a little story here, and again, reminisce back to the President's great remarks that you should pursue greatness. Just a couple weeks ago, I was in an event, and the crowd was reminded that I'm the youngest Attorney General right now, and this woman came up to me afterwards and said, "You know, that's all fine and good that the crime rate's never been lower, and, you know, we've arrested more child predators in a year than ever before, and fentanyl's down 60–70%, violent crime's down double digits, but I could never support or vote for you. You're just too young." I decided to grow out my beard a little bit more this year, but I said to her, you know, the guy that wrote our Declaration of Independence is a pretty impressive guy. Younger than me, many of our founding fathers. You love America, right? You love our country. You love our Constitution. Many of our founders, they were younger than me. You can be the youngest federal judge appointed in U.S. history. You can rise to positions of influence, and I hope you do. But please reject the notion that you have to wait to do great things. With hard work, good ethics, a pursuit of what's right and just and true, and God on your side, you can do whatever you put your mind to. So I challenge you. I challenge you to embark into the world, into your next chapter, to fight for the most vulnerable, to defend our great country, and to passionately demonstrate truth. Thank you.
Before we give the honorary degree, I do have to say this, is when we were dealing with the ABA and some unfounded claims against the university and the College of Law, one public figure came forward and challenged that, and it was the Attorney General, James Upmeyer. So thank you.
Today, Attorney General Uthmeyer will be awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. He will be hooded by Dean Navarro and President Armstrong.
Thank you to our Attorney General. And now, we will hear from this year's Juris Doctorate, our commencement speaker, Robert Lopez. Robert, known as R.J. Lopez, is a first-generation law student born and raised in Miami, Florida. He began law school at St. Thomas University College of Law in August 23. During his 3 years in law school, he earned Cali Book Awards, 10 Cali Book Awards, and the Dean's List. In all eligible semesters. After his first year, RJ was a legal intern for the Miami Marlins and later joined the Academic Success Program as a fellow. He helped incoming 1L students navigate through their first year of law school. During his final 2 years, RJ was a member of the St. Thomas Law Review, where he served as editor-in-chief of Volume 38. Additionally, he was a member of the moot court team, number 2 in the state, and competed in the Burton D. Weschler National First Amendment Moot Court Competition in Washington, D.C. Robert also served as a teaching assistant for Professor Gonzalez Rivera, assisting his students in the foundational first-year course in constitutional law. RJ also completed internships at the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida with the Honorable Magistrate Judge Lisette Reed. He also clerked at Holland and Knight and Colescott-Cassane. After sitting for the Florida bar exam, Robert will be working as a judicial law clerk at the Florida 4th District Court of Appeals with the Honorable Judge Jonathan D. Lott. Wow. Robert?
Thank you, Dean Navarro. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, families, friends, and of course, the class of 2026. 3 years ago, I stood outside my mom's house, so terrified of starting law school that I almost didn't show up. But thanks to her encouragement, I made it to torts the next day. Still terrified, clutching a casebook and readings I barely understood. Little did I know that waiting on the other side of that fear was possibly the greatest 3 years of my life. I've had the privilege of serving as the editor-in-chief of the St. Thomas Law Review, the opportunity to compete in a moot court competition with a better team than I could have ever asked for, and developed a passion for the law with my best friends. I'm sure that many of you in this room share stories similar to mine, and it's with that shared experience that I am deeply honored to represent the class of 2026 at today's graduation. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the love and support of a select few. First, Jordan, Anna, Donnie, Priscilla, Arlie Jr., and Ashton. You guys have become my best friends and my chosen family. None of this would have been possible without you guys. Second, my siblings, Helene and Jake. Thank you for your constant encouragement throughout this journey. To Lauren and the Monteagudo family, your unconditional support and love over the past year means more than I can properly express. And to my parents, Mom, Dad, Alicia, and Bob. It is a blessing to have 4 parents who care for me so deeply, who want to see me excel, and will do anything to support me in achieving my dreams. I love you all, and I hope that I have made you proud. There are two more people I would like to mention: my grandfather, Papa Joey, and my grandmother, Mahelen. Unfortunately, Mahelen passed away during finals of fall 2024. I mention them because they are the first to truly believe in me, and because of that, they always push me to work harder and to think more deeply. And I am sure Papa Joey, would want nothing more than to have her here to celebrate this occasion, but I know she is watching proudly from above. My grandmother was someone I greatly admired. She did not have a JD, but I believe she embodied the very traits we, as future attorneys, should strive for every day. I would like to highlight two in particular. First, Mahelen cared for everybody. It did not matter whether you were family, a friend, or a complete stranger. As future attorneys, we are to be held to a higher standard, both inside and outside the courtroom. In a profession that can be adversarial, Mahelen is a reminder that our most important title will never be counselor or attorney or lawyer, but human. Always treat people with the care and respect that you would hope to be treated with in return. Whether it is an opposing counsel, the courthouse staff, or a stranger, always remember that your reputation is built on how you treat others, especially when no one is billing for your time. Second, selflessness came naturally to Mahelen. She lived a life of serving her community. She spent years volunteering with the ARC of South Florida, driven by a genuine passion for helping individuals with disabilities. She did not have a law degree, but she had a voice and a loving heart, and she used both. As attorneys, we are given a unique privilege to help others navigate systems that can feel impossible to navigate alone. I encourage you not only to zealously advocate for your clients, but also to find a cause you care about and use your license to better serve your community. Let us build careers defined by service and meaningful work. The class of 2026 has spent the last 3 years building an unforgettable legacy. From moot court to trial team to our law journals and many more areas, we have certainly left our mark. And although our journey as law students ends today, another filled with more opportunity is just beginning. I am confident that this class will continue to do incredible things, starting with successfully passing the bar in July. Class of 2026, don't just aspire to make a living. Let's aspire to make a difference. I would like to leave you with a quote from Justice Thurgood Marshall. He said, "In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute." Class of 2026, may we always strive to lead with that dignity and respect. Thank you and congratulations.
Very proud of you, RJ. All right, now, St. Thomas University College of Law is proud of its tradition of giving back to our community. Our students, both through formalized pro bono programs and through a wide range of other service opportunities, provide meaningful assistance across many of our much-needed communities. Serving in this way gives our students valuable insight into the power and responsibility that comes with becoming a lawyer. The graduating class of 2026 contributed over 21,500 hours of pro bono service. And each year we recognize one graduate who has gone over and beyond. This year, we are honored to present our pro bono certificate of recognition to Kendall Stevenson. Kendall, please come up. Ms. Stevenson completed more than 773 hours, including 723 legal pro bono hours. She devoted the majority of her time to the Florida Department of Children and Families, Children Legal Services, and ChildNet, where she where she provided critical advocacy and support for children in the foster care program. Please give it up for Kendall Stevenson. And now comes the moment we have all been waiting for. The conferral of our degrees. Degrees will be awarded in the order of Doctor of the Science of Law, Master of Laws, and Juris Doctor. Each candidate will be presented to the president of the university for the conferral of their degree. We kindly ask all guests to be respectful of those around them while taking photographs and to hold your applause until all candidates have been recognized and have received their degrees. We will now begin the candidates for the Doctor of the Science of Law in Intercultural Human Rights.
Will the candidates of the Doctor of Science of Law in Intercultural Human Rights please come forward? Fada Mosleh Amalki. Candidates of the Master of Law in Intercultural Human Rights degrees please come forward. Roxanne Elizabeth Sherman, summa cum laude. Adalberto Sotero, magna cum laude. Juan D. Campos. Emina Tuche Kaboglu, cum laude. Felix Mersabajev. Grace O. Rance. Sarah Lindsay Fitzgerald, magna cum laude. Dominique Leon, magna cum laude. Sherina Garcia. Diana Carolina Good. María Auxiliadora Martos Fernández. Néstor Alberto Padrón Rincón. Candidates for the Juris Doctor degree, please come forward. Kendall Stevenson. Andre Dominguez, cum laude. Isabela M. León. Kendra Gacharna. April Sanchez, cum laude. Karina González. Helen Montiel. Christopher Manuel Ferrer Hernández. Melanie Lucía Hernández. Emmanuel Elizabeth Berberian. Brianna Sofia Jewett. Michelle Fernandez Miranda. Adjeline Valentina Bonalde Leal, cum laude. Lianet Monaga Morales. Adrienne Genevieve, cum laude. Jordan German Hires. Nicole S. Nardo, cum laude. Amanda Fiestas, cum laude. Goran Soto. Nieves Hernández Rivera. Samantha Hernández Portela. Mira Prasad. Ana Cristina Pineda Hernández. Sofía Catalina Ramírez. Logan Allen Susi. Nicholas Johnston Vanderberg, magna cum laude. Camila Lucía Cabrejos. Laura María Leiva Hevia. Mixa Alexandra Hernández, magna cum laude. Karen M. Cortés. Miad Mohammed Hassan. Ángel Eladio Armesto Guzmán. George Maxwell Enriquez. Chelsea Barcenas, cum laude. Sofía Daniela Borrello, cum laude. Daniela A. Ochoa, cum laude. Natalie Erika Fernández. Xaviera Lucía Sueiro. Alfredo Miguel Soto, magna cum laude. Sebastián Pérez. Zachary Adam Schindler, magna cum laude. Bar Jessica Sade. Delaney Nix, cum laude. Daniel A. Legra. Kaylee Smith, cum laude. Chantal Pinilla. Molly Mansfield. Jenna Hannah Neemith. Brian Velasquez, magna cum laude. Shindele Bellamour. Ana Lucia Llanos. Marta Hernández, magna cum laude. Dalia Sánchez Alonso, summa cum laude. Annette Torres. Elaine Hernández. Claudia Gabriela Cárdenas. Génesis Fernández, cum laude. Melanie Pérez, cum laude. Sheila Viñas Castillo. Ashley Pineiro. Jorge González. El Alexandra García. Melanie Jules Elguezábal. Bianca Victoria Salarrabia. Tatiana Yvette Núñez Crespo. Stephanie L. Da Silva Díaz. Patricia A. Landa, cum laude. Natalie Domínguez, cum laude. Saraí Soris Gascón, cum laude. Cordelia Angelique Harris. Xiomara Marta García, cum laude. Daniela Sandoval Gil, cum laude. Tony Vidó. Marcus Mesa. Osuni Valdivia. Zach Kornplatt. Carla Mari Salazar. Jessica Otaola. John Christian Guevara Ramos, cum laude. Andrea Marie Delgado, cum laude. Sidney J. Marcos. Elizabeth Margaret Durán. Natalia Gallardo. Yanela Clapera. Cristian Herrera. Caterina Caringuela, magna cum laude. Tasio Rondinoni. Mónica Paola López, cum laude. Merlín Sofía Hernández Martínez, cum laude. Melissa Águila. Kelin J. Águila. Michael Fouladi, cum laude. Bailey Alexander Mantilla, cum laude. Justin P. Fisher, cum laude. Moisés Martínez. Aaron Carey, cum laude. Kendall Peyton Bowers. Priscila Hernández, cum laude. Anisa Swolinski, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth McCohen. William Wright, cum laude. Amanda Carvajales. Daniel González, cum laude. Huey Dunomis. Isabela Aedo. Samantha Donovan. Catherine Alexandria Didich. Angelina Bryce Quinn. Laura Rodríguez García. Michael Fernandez. Jeremy De Vorsny, cum laude. Angelo Pecorelli Longo. Brandon Luis Bailey. Jessica Mion, cum laude. Stephanie Nicole Pose, cum laude. Crystal Marie Couso, magna cum laude. Lucia Hope, cum laude. Anthony Michael Sacenti. Valentina Montoya Bayona Domínguez, cum laude. Brian Anand Ramsaran. Jameson Roach, cum laude. Chase K. Jacob. Victoria Cristina Murciano. Valeria Peralta. Sebastián Alexander Prieto, cum laude. Gerardo Jesús Pereira. Nathaniel Payne Clock. Camille Bashushi, cum laude. Benjamin Allen Feldman. Nicolás A. Pérez Blanco. Andrés Jesús Gómez. Marcus Anthony Pérez, magna cum laude. Coranin O'Mileson. Paisana. Laura C. Alemán Linares, summa cum laude. Jezebel Reyes. Mónica Martínez, cum laude. Stephanie Lisbeth Rojas. Irene Sánchez. Amanda Alfonso, magna cum laude. Sophie de Armas, cum laude. Sylvester Kevin Bailey, Jr. Carlos Francisco Oz II. Sophie Katash. Anthony Avelino Vega. Cristian Alberto García, cum laude. Giuseppe La Chiacera. Alejandro Víctor Candela. Ethan Lidis. Jordan Galvez. Lucas McCormick. Oliver Savola. Hans Sneed. José Carlos Santiago. Constanza Musetti. Jaylene Valdez, cum laude. Isabela Silva. Nicole María Baltzer. Leida Mujica, cum laude. Daniela María Argüello. Gabriela Apicela. Andrea Sofía García Baerga, cum laude. Marco Sivanovic, cum laude. Esther Liavit Azulay. Fausto Domínguez, cum laude. Esther Alsina, cum laude. Amanda Nicole Ramos. Diana Alejandra Moya Carmona, cum laude. Ashley González. Brianna Lisette Blanco. José Antonio Linares Jr. Camila Alexandra Blanco Mérida, cum laude. Brittany Artiaga, cum laude. Natalie Tirado, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Isasi. Carolyn Marie Lorenzo, cum laude. James Amir Ritchie, cum laude. Fabian J. Gaboton. Tyrus Anthony Fleetwood. Juan Carlos Ríos Jr. Marcela R. Salinas, cum laude. Angel Y. Artola, magna cum laude. Amber Marie Villa. Kurt Laurido, cum laude. Sofía Ana Lazo, cum laude. Jenely Guerra. Nicholas Greenville. José Joaquín Carmenate, cum laude. Álvaro José Céspedes Cabero, cum laude. Dorian Alexander Roticer, magna cum laude. Tanner Blake Reese. Joanna M. Nossinger. Juliette Nardo. Marta Leonard. Ana Beatriz Brugues Casanova Rodríguez. Joana Carrascal. Jennifer Saiz. Carolina Alexandra Miranda. William Williams. Arletis Pupo. Priscila Consuegra, cum laude. Jordan Bassett, magna cum laude. Ana C. Machin. Donovan Smith, magna cum laude. Robert Joseph Lopez, summa cum laude. Ashton Cole Hasner. Alfredo Luis de Sayas, magna cum laude. Brianna Markland. Rod Mavens Belazier. Mauro Reyes Menéndez, cum laude. Melody Marie Blanco, magna cum laude. Denixa Dávila, magna cum laude.
All right, stay standing. I ask all the candidates for the Doctor of Science of Law and Intercultural Human Rights, the Master of Laws and Intercultural Human Rights, and the Juris Doctorate to please remain standing. President Armstrong, the faculty of St. Thomas University College of Law, respectfully recommends these candidates for the conferral of the Doctor of Science of Law, Master of Laws, and Juris Doctor degrees.
It's not official until I say these words. All right. Uh-oh, we got all right, a new graduate. All right, here we go. This is when it becomes official. By the authority vested in me as president of St. Thomas University, by the Board of Trustees, and by the great state of Florida, I hereby declare you to be graduates of the St. Thomas University College of Law with all the rights and privileges of the degree of Doctor of Science of Law, Masters of Law, and Juris Doctor as listed on the official records of the university. Congratulations, class of 2026! Okay, graduates, turn to the front again. Turn to the front again and remain standing. Remain standing.
Graduates, please welcome the chair of the STU Board of Trustees, George Rico. George is a fellow St. Thomas University alumnus, and he will lead you in the St. Thomas University Pledge of Loyalty.
Okay, I promise that we're almost done, so. Parents, spouses, families, guardians, and friends, I present to you the graduating class of 2026. Loyalty to your alma mater, St. Thomas University, is a special characteristic of our students. I ask the platform party to stand. 2026 graduates, our newest alumni, join me in reciting the Pledge of Loyalty found on the back of your program and on the screen. Students, please repeat each line after us. With a solemn sense of my responsibility, I pledge myself to hold my degree as a sacred trust, an emblem of my obligation to serve, to hold it with untarnished honor to myself, in generous loyalty to St. Thomas University, and with fidelity to God, my country, and my fellows. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join us in the singing of the St. Thomas University alma mater, led by our STU choir. The words of the alma mater can be found on the back of your program, and they will also be displayed on our screen.
Class of 2026, please be seated. I ask that you each turn your attention to the screen for a congratulatory message from His Most Reverend Excellency Archbishop Thomas Winsky.
Over 2,200 years ago, the mathematician Archimedes famously declared, "Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I can move the world." In this metaphor, an education for excellence, the education you received here at St. Thomas University, serves as your lever. It is a tool that amplifies your potential and extends your reach across every discipline and industry. But as a Catholic university, we understand that even the strongest lever is useless without a solid foundation. Faith in the Lord Jesus Christ provides that unshakable place to stand. When your skills are powered by such a lever and your life is anchored on that rock, you don't just observe the world, you move it for the glory of God. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Congratulations, College of Law graduates. Before we conclude, just a few brief instructions. Following our benediction, we ask all our guests to please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and graduates have left the commencement area. Graduates, upon dismissal, please follow the directions to the St. Thomas University College of Law, where your faculty, guests, and friends will join you for a celebration in your honor. And now, in closing, please stand as I invite Father Capot to the podium to offer the benediction.
Gracious and almighty God, as we conclude this joyful celebration, we entrust these graduates to your providence. As they begin the next chapter of their lives, send them forth with hearts filled with zeal, minds formed with wisdom, and spirits ready to embrace their vocation. Through the intercession of St. Thomas More, grant them the courage to stand for truth, the compassion to serve with generosity, and the integrity to lead with justice rooted in charity. May they help transform division into unity, conflict into peace, and indifference into a steadfast defense of the dignity of every human person. Bless their paths with hope, guide their steps with your grace, and strengthen them to be faithful witnesses in all they do. And the Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Families, friends, guests, please remain in your seats as our platform party, faculty, and the students of the class of 2026 exit the back doors of the Fernandez Family Center. As a reminder, everyone else please follow our stewards in the burgundy polos through the side doors. They will dismiss the floor seating first. Once everyone exits this building, please make your way quickly to the College of Law, where we will hold festivities in your honor and celebrate with a presidential champagne toast promptly following the ceremony. Thank you, God bless, and go Bobcats!